Get on it. Let's get to it. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we have. PHGE. Nice pump after hours, but looks like it's mostly sold off. GNTA. This one is interesting. So this started really early then. 3 a.m. 23 million. Good morning, Larry. Good morning. Yes, this does have news. Good morning, Michael. Mostly just updating what I'm keeping on watch here. Started a couple minutes early, but that's fine. Let's see if we get anything at the top of the hour. Yeah, the stock's really just on the daily. This is not pleasant. Right, it's been mostly barcodey too. Not ideal. NUWE certainly looks like the leading candidate. BNAI did make a nice recovery, but again, it's just a bit too expensive. And honestly, it's kind of sold back off. So this is probably the main candidate. Yeah. Not a great daily chart, but realistically, it's been only slightly downtrending. I'm not really going to account for this major sell-off because this was back in August. That's quite a while ago. Even this isn't very pleasant, though. So this is clearly a stock that has struggled. All right, I mean, we're up to $6 now. You look at this on the yearly chart. We're way back. We're way back to here. So this is extremely extended. What kind of news could be supporting this move? The answer is nothing. There's nothing. Okay, so there's just nothing. This is just a short squeeze. Got it. How much is this up? So it's up basically like 150 to 200%. Don't really have strong feelings for a stock moving this much on no news. Especially with one that has such a history of selling off. I mean, where would you even look for a bounce at? I mean, ideally I'd want to buy in here, but support-wise, I mean, I guess you could do like 460s. But yeah. Realistically, yeah, this is a low float. That's probably why, right? Under 1 million shares. The only reason this is moving is very likely just a short squeeze play. If I had to just make assumptions, right? No news, low float. We're in a hot market. Odds are this was a short squeeze. So for whatever reason, from $4, it's squeezed up to $6 in the last hour or so. Good morning, Flip Flop, sir. Okay, 630 down to 560s. It's a 70-cent drop from the highs. So we had like a 15-cent bounce here. See how much this bounces. Looks like the short float is only 0.81% though. I mean, what could spark this then? I mean, is it just pure momentum? Not short bias, but rather long bias traders? If the short interest is really only that, then that doesn't make sense. I guess one thing I will ask too is like, where are you getting that data from, right? Because is that updated short interest, or is that short interest from 2 weeks ago? Because that could be something that's relevant in this situation, because looking at the daily, it looks like recently there was a lot of activity that had gone on. You had action here. Well, no, this is recent though, so if your report is more recent than this, like 3 days ago or something, that doesn't explain it. But like if your data is from here, where the short interest, where it's like $1, perhaps this was squeezing and people shorted here, pushing it down. That could be one argument. It really depends when that data was collected, because yeah, if the short interest is really only 0%, 0.8%, then that's not enough to drive this. Worth noting too that the spike happened right at 7, and if this is the high, that means whoever was pumping this pumped it with the intention of doing the final push at 7. So you had a 1-minute high that looks like it was a failure. Use FinViz, but it could be older data because I don't think it's updated very frequently. Yeah, FinViz is usually like every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. So that might be out of date info. But at the same token, even if it is out of date, 0.8% is extremely low, right? I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to assume that the short interest is similar. Good observation. Volume rush at 7 or 8 is often a liquidation event nowadays. It does feel like that, Tristan. Yeah. I mean, it could, of course, curl here. I just think it's very interesting. You had this move up. It finished at 7, and then the 1-minute high was a fake out. Now, of course, it could curl, but I'm just making observations at the moment. If you guys are coming into the stream, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, help get this out to more people, I would appreciate it. CYN with news. I'll check it out. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see this one. $7 million shares. Yeah, this one's not popping up on my... Oh, okay, the volume's still pretty light. That's why. Announced that it has tripled the number of autonomous drive mod tuggers it sold in 2025. I mean, that's an okay catalyst. It's kind of buzzwordy, but not terrible. Looking at the daily, the stock looks pretty terrible, though. Very, very strong downward pressure. SWVL is also moving. This one also has news. Securing $2.2 million contract. That sounds strong. I mean, this, at least catalyst-wise, this seems potentially stronger. I'll keep CYN on watch, though. I think they're both reasonable. Finally getting some volume through on this. Fortunately, this one has been at lows recently too. So I would be buying at a bit of a premium. Realistically for this, I'm reading this as people aren't sure what to do with it. CYN, another very big push. This stock is quite volatile. Yeah, we're seeing like 30, 40 cent moves on these candles. So notably, these two candles were extremely light volume. These were much heavier. Good morning, Skibon. Yeah, this looks very top heavy, just from volume. Ooh. 290 down to 240. It would have been tempting to buy there, but this is tremendous selling pressure. I wouldn't trust it. The only thing you'd really have going for you is just that this was simply an insanely quick rejection. Good morning, Mr. Noob. Yeah, we'll see how this acts up here. Right, our other stock is this one's still just trading sideways. I will note that the volume is somewhat elevated. Right, this is at least relative volume to the normal movement. This is still significant. It seems like there's a lot of indecision. What does the level 2 look like? Yeah, we've got a bit of a spread. Okay, so this one could potentially pan out into something. As for CYN, I'm very skeptical. I mean, it's air. Am I on the right one? No. CYN. Okay, this one is United States. Got it. No, this is just a bad setup then. Like, the highest volume candle is a 50-cent drawdown. I won't call it dead, but it doesn't look pretty. SWVL. Looks like it's pushing down here. Okay, got a little bit of a position there. See if it can recapture 50. Did recapture it pretty quick. I can be a little more patient with this one because I timed the bottom almost perfectly. Yeah, I was basically the bottom. All right, let's see how much of a bounce we get. All right, and out there. Nice little $10 hit. Yeah, good news catalyst. This reaction was on lower volume. The return bounce was only about half of this. Yeah, the fact that I got in lower, was able to hold for a bit more. Good little start. Next him up. All right, let's see. We might get a second attempt here. Okay. Still more coming through, but this is still lighter volume. Yeah, that might have been the buy chance right there. That volume profile was still pretty good. Okay, on daily. Yeah. Low 20s would be good. I don't know if we're going to get that, though. This is already so drawn down. It might just be... Yeah, that might have been the chance there, going for like 232. But it was too quick. I wasn't anticipating another move, and I didn't pre-plan an entry. So jumping in there would have been a little bit emotional if I did jump in. Thank you, Larry. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to watch it now. If it does decide that it wants to... I'm not going to buy here 30s now, but if we do see a breakdown to low 20s, I would be interested, assuming the volume stays low. CYN continuing to recover, so it's moving very aggressively. All right. Well, this one looks like it might just be bouncing, so I'll go ahead and finish logging this, jump over to CYN. Daily support was good. Volume was pretty low. Catalyst was okay. Daily wasn't the best. It's like a B, maybe a B plus. Volatility wasn't that high. Definitely keep an eye on it, though, because it's still pressuring the lower end. Might even want to, now that it's consolidated here, 20s might not actually be the most safe. Right, because this was a push from 70s to 40. Yeah, low 2s is actually closer. So like 212 maybe. All right, let's see. So we did break to 226. Low volume. I want to see a bigger push, though. A hard rejection on this. Despite the news seemed like it was all right. Raven, I do see your question. I'm sorry, I'm just like observing to see if this does want to break or not. All right, we're at 30. So, I mean, yeah, I would just make scanners to look for stocks that are moving. Because realistically, if you would want to short, logically, you would want to look for the stocks that are moving, right? Because you want that discrepancy. Okay, so looks like another big pullback here. The algo prop is missing on SWVL. Yeah. Very strange that it didn't... It's very strange to me. This didn't actually respond that well. You had a little bit of churn here, but despite this news, it just didn't really hold up well. The float's not even that bad either. I'm genuinely kind of surprised it's done this. I mean, this is kind of where it's at on the last few days, but right. My main issue with wanting to buy here for a bounce is we are still extended on the daily chart, right? This is where we're at right now. This has actually already made a pretty big move, and this has trended down. So realistically, if you're just talking pure fundamentals, then this is not great value to buy here from a fundamental perspective. So that's why I'm hesitant. Yeah, realistically, I'd want like maybe 207 at this point. It's consolidated here quite a bit. I genuinely didn't think it was going to break down like this. CYN continuing to break out. Yeah, this thing is Very volatile, right? 255 to 295. Like, this thing is still moving 40 cents a minute. Certainly volatile. Back short at 290. Good luck, sir. Seeing volume still stair-stepping up here. JZXN. Looks like it's moving. Yo, Mr. Buckeye. Good morning, sir. Yo, yo, yo. To receive $90 million investment from Morgan International Finance at $3 per share. Really? That's, I mean, surface level, that looks incredibly bullish because the price is at 2. Is there like some other thing to it, like warrants? So, this is a Chinese stock. The news, I mean, I read the headline. It looks like there's no caveats to it. It seems like it's purely just $3 should be the floor, but the fact it's Chinese is making me skeptical. Yeah, this is getting tremendous selling pressure. Noteworthy is that it's stabilized here for such a long time. It seems like a good catalyst. I don't understand why it wouldn't go up from this. Yeah, it's just getting hammered. That push down was on lower volume. I might try with reduced size just to test it if we get a breakdown. Like 190s, 180s. Actually, I'm going to pivot back here. What the heck is this? Look at this volume. So that's at $2 here. No, that's solid. 4,000. This is low volume. This is insane. What on earth even is this? GZXN flushing out. Yeah. so afraid to touch JZXN though, because Chinese stock and manipulation risks. Like I was saying, 180s is where I wanted to get in, so this would be it. But on the same token, this is a pretty high volume flush. I just don't trust it. This is an okay spot to attempt a bounce. I mean, it would have worked if I would have bought at 180s. This would have been a full-size winner. RDW. We'll check it out. Wow. Looks like a higher float, though. Yeah, 165 million. I should really avoid this. It's too high for me. That's too high. I mean, it could be massive news, certainly, but I just, as a general rule, I don't like to engage with floats that high if I can avoid it. I just don't really do well with them. Yeah, so the bounce would have been here, but hindsight. Yeah, I don't understand what I'm missing with this, right? This gaps up here, churns for a bit, sells off hard on very low volume. I mean, if this breaks 2 and goes 190s, I'm a buyer, but very strange. The only thing that could be potentially working against me here is, again, this is a downtrending daily chart. We did already have a bounce here, so logically we were due for a correction. And this is actually a pretty big bounce too. So you could argue maybe this was just someone cashing out who had bought the dip here. But even so, on good news, to have such low volume pushing this down seems unnatural. Yeah, and it's like 201 on the bid. All right, I'm going to put an order out in the event it does flush. I don't really suspect it will, but if we do get a flush, I want to be here for it. CYN has been so bouncy, been in and out. That one 3 times already. Yeah, I saw how much it's been moving. It was moving like 40 cents a minute on some of those candles. Like even this is still pretty choppy. There's a good bit of opportunity for anyone trying to scalp this. Tempting to want to get involved. I'm still most interested in SWVL though, because at least from a value perspective, it seems like the best opportunity. Yeah, this wouldn't be one to buy for the breakout. This would be one to buy for the range. If we got a good setup, maybe I'll take a half-size position on it. Just test the waters. Like, you could have even tried buying there. I'd want to buy something else. I want to see us downtrend, and then I buy the bottom of the downtrend. That would be ideal for me. This might have been the bounce though. Meanwhile, this, right, pops to $3, sells off to $2. Even on this pressure on the bottom, it's been lower volume. It has always been bouncy. I remember making a good chunk on it a couple months ago. I mean, it always depends on how big the float is, really. Right? This one clearly has a history, right? Just of making these massive gaps. It's done it multiple times, so... Yeah, this one seems like one where it's in a situation where it will do that. You're short again? Good luck, sir. All right, we're at the half hour. We'll see if we get any other stocks with news that creates any movement for us. I feel like flip-flop and my strategy are very similar, despite what it might look like. We're both very contrarian, right? I'm looking for inverses from a strong trend, and it seems like you're doing the same. BTCT. Looks like this has news. Strategic Framework Agreement. Okay, so just general partnership. Got it. Not really a crazy catalyst. Yeah, I suspect this won't turn into anything. Just to pivot back to JZXN, the stock I thought looked suspicious. Turns out this one has ended up selling off quite a bit. Shorting is very tricky. I mean, it works well if you can control yourself and cut as soon as the price starts ripping up. Problem is, most of the time people add to that. Yeah, it works well. Yeah, exactly. Like it's a very high success rate, but your profit loss ratio is abysmal, right? You might be correct 90% of the time, and if you add to your losers instead of cutting it, you might be right 95% of the time. But then you get that one SMX squeeze or that BNAI squeeze, and all of a sudden you're net unprofitable. Yeah. I feel like a vulture. I'm just like hovering SWVL. I'm like watching it, waiting to see if we're going to break 2. Honestly, at this point, considering... Yeah. I'm going to cancel my orders for now. Considering how much pressure there's been on 2, I'm starting to suspect a bigger move from 2 could happen. Do I add to winners? Very, very rarely. If I'm on a hot streak and I seem to be just on top of it, like what I'm doing is working very well, I'll add. That's only about 5% of the time. I'd say 95% of the time I do not add. I just take very small base hits. I think since I've started this channel, I've only ever actually added to a winner and hit a home run twice. So it's pretty rare. Yeah, realistically at this point, I mean, we're talking about all-time lows of this breaks too. Because like the all-time low is like 181. I totally could see this going to 181. Yeah, so probably mid 180s, anticipating that the low will be support. That's probably what I shift to. I was looking for 190s, but this stabilizing is too bearish. Reads to me like a potential hidden seller. Yeah. CYN continuing to run. Also, it does not seem, other than that one stock we had, it doesn't seem like we're having anything actually running from the half hour. So half hour is looking like a dud. Quick reminder for anyone watching the stream, I see we only have 10 likes, or at least on my end, so if you're liking the stream, please do leave a like. Helps me out, helps me get this to more people, and I do appreciate it. No pressure, though. So it seems like we're ranging less now. The range is much tighter compared to the way it's been in this area. The volume's been still pretty equivalent. Thank you for the hearts. Good morning, Opter. Good morning, sir. I appreciate you guys leaving a like. It does help out, and I appreciate it. JZXN looks like it's curling a bit. I'm not going to touch this one at all. This one has already proven to me to be untrustworthy, so I'm not messing with it. CYN continuing to grind. Yo, we're getting all the 100 spams. Let's go. You guys got to hit me with the smiley face next. Got to hit me with some smiley faces. Very nice breakout. So this was, I mean, even though this started to range, it's still moving well. What is this move to? Like a 40 cents. So it's still getting these bigger moves. Yeah, and even this last candle, huge volume. Amir, I mean, I meant the like little emote thing, but thank you, Amir. I still do have an order out on SWVL. Not going to force it, though, if it doesn't want to come to me. Definitely seems like it's a slower day. I mean, we're still having some great 100% movers, but it seems at least for the 7 o'clock mark, the momentum seems to have slowed down a little bit. I still can't believe this rolled over this hard. Insane. I suppose maybe one thing I should be factoring in as well for this. This is an Arab company, right? So it's not US based. Anything with like the Middle East, similar to Chinese stocks, it seems like Middle East companies also are a little more dubious. So perhaps there could be some dubious play going on that could explain away that. It's one potential vector. Wow. This thing's just ripping. How you holding up, Flip-Flop? This is spooky. Totally screwed up on NUWE this morning. Terrible chasing entries. Don't know why I did that. Down 3R on the day so far. Well, if you don't know why you did it, then that's what you need to figure out, right? I'm actually planning on either this weekend or maybe next weekend, because this weekend I'm going to make a monthly review. But yeah, you definitely need to look into your emotions and how they're causing you to trade. Like something that I did, like I'll just give my example, right? I had a losing streak and then I felt such strong impulses to get it back. And that caused me to start to break more rules. And before you know it, you start to subconsciously put barriers that make it so you can't see red flags. Like, I'll give you one example with me, is a lot of times I look for the volume profile relative to the move to determine if this is a good setup or not. And what I noticed and observed is whenever I reach a point where I get too emotionally invested, my mind starts kind of blurring out those red flags. So like maybe the volume, like let's say that the volume's super high and my strategy says if the volume's high, don't enter. I would look at that. I would visually look at the volume. But whenever I went to recall the trade later, I was not recalling memories of me assessing the chart. I was recalling emotions of recovering the loss. And to me, that was a very big tell. So you're saying that you can't understand why you were trading in a way that made you it sounds like you didn't like the way that you traded. So if you were breaking your rules, odds are very likely that you had some sort of emotional capitulation in some form. Maybe it's a small one or maybe it's a bigger one. But my read, without knowing anything about you, is that it sounds like it was more of an emotional capitulation. Right? Not financial advice, but that's what I would look into if I were you. Guessing maybe it was FOMO trying to make something that wasn't there. Yeah, either FOMO or recovering a loss, right? Something to validate ego. Both of those are ego-based. So if you're trying to recover a loss, you're trying to convince yourself that you're good enough, and you losing money that other day wasn't because you did badly, or it wasn't because you're not a profitable trader. It's because you just didn't push hard enough or something, or your brain will make up excuses. But the same thing with FOMO. Your average is 334. Good luck, sir. I mean, you're not far from break even. You're pretty close to break even. And this thing is very extended. The only thing I will say is just be careful, because this thing has had a history of making monstrous moves. But it is very extended right now as well. So there is an argument. Like if this fails, I mean, this could come all the way. You could make a 50% return. So I totally understand the flip side argument. Started doing push-ups after losers to help reset your mind. It still works like 60% of the time. Skivan, I agree with that, but I would slightly tweak it. I would say not doing it after a loser, doing it after you break your rules. Okay, you're all out for break even on the last trade. It's been an hour of it moving up. SOP, I don't know what that means. So my rules say I'm out for good now. Fair enough. But I mean, hey, if you can get out, the fact that you shorted this flip-flop in this strong of an uptrend and you're able to get out break even, I mean, to me, that's and break even on the last trade, right? I mean, I'm assuming you're still green on the other ones, but that's very impressive that you can manage to be break even despite this uptrend. One thing I would question slightly is you said you entered at 310, right? And your average was at 334, which means you probably added around here. So could be some red flags to that, but I mean, it seems like you just doubled, right? I mean, if you bought at 310, your average is 334, you probably just doubled up around here. So that's not catastrophically bad, especially if you traded with smaller size. Yeah, it's a combination of a couple things, but yeah, my problem is that I'm chronically undersized and I'm actually profitable, but I can't frickin' scale my stuff. No, yeah, I totally get it, dude. Totally. I'm in the same boat, right? For me, whenever I start to scale too much, the nerves start to get to me. Like a $10 trade, if I lose, I'm not really gonna freak out about it. But if I'm like risking $150 or $200 a trade, it starts to get personal then. You know, you start to see real life consequences from your actions, right? Like financially, I'm in a good enough spot where I don't have to worry about a $10 loss or something. I'll be fine. But yeah. So that leads to some unnecessary losses, drawdowns from time to time. I mean, hey, as long as you can identify it and catch it before it gets out of control, to me, that's the biggest thing. Okay, Bob, that's a bunch of numbers and letters. What are you doing, Bob? Bob, can you say 1, 2, 3 for me in the chat? Pretty please. That's a lot of word gibberish. Can you do that for me, Bob? Say 1, 2, 3 for me in the chat. Not you, Eric. 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, Bob, you're gone. You're gone. Oh, wait, Bob typed something. Hold on. I'm gonna undelete your message. Okay, Bob actually typed 1, 2, 3. Wait, Bob. All right, Bob, you got to tell me what's the deal with your message? What was that gibberish about? Yeah, no, I unmuted him because like right at the end, right before I banned him, he did type 1, 2, 3, so I unbanned him. Yeah, I mean, I see CYN on it. Yeah, and it looks like a time. CYN 5:07 AM. 2:45. It looks like some sort of order, but yeah, Bob. Yeah, I'll give you time to explain it, Bob. I'll give you a couple minutes, but like explain what that's about, because that looked like just complete gibberish. Even if, like, he answered 1, 2, 3, it still looks like a bot. But, yeah, we'll give him a chance. Now is a good time to short CYN. Charlie, I agree with you 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, I disagree with you. Yeah. Nothing really moving right now to look for. I think we're just chilling, waiting for the top of the hour, because I just don't see anything I'm really interested in at the moment. CYN is the most interesting, and it feels like it's slowed down a bit. Do I trade gold? No. I've messed with the futures market in the past. Like, I've traded gold futures, silver futures, but no, I haven't touched futures in years, so no. Yeah, gold and silver, they've been actually pretty crazy lately, right? Silver's over $100 an ounce. Gold, I think gold went over, what was it, 5,100? So yeah, the precious metals equity market is very, very volatile. Futures edge is less than small cap edge. No. I just to clarify, I was never profitable trading futures. My edge did not transfer. There was no edge that I had from futures. So just to clarify, I never made money trading futures. Volume gang, good morning. Where's the soup? This is a trading YouTube channel. There's no soup here. So SWVL looks like it might be bouncing, but there's no volume. There was no final push down. Had I actually bought, I would have been holding for like 20 or 30 minutes. That's not ideal. There's always soup. That's right. There's always soup. We're at the soup store. Guess I'll go ahead and put out a poll here while we're waiting. See my you little trickster. Yeah, that's how I feel for you. I feel for you, Flip Flop. What a little devil, right? Wow, we're like 50-50 on the video. We're neck and neck. Good morning, Marcel. Good morning, good morning. Give some more time for people to vote. Do I see support anywhere? I mean, we can mark out some levels of support, right? We're actually kind of at one right now. Right, this is clearly support. This could be a bounce attempt here. I would be a little worried just because the volume has increased on these two candles. This could indicate distribution has started. I mean, where else would you look? Probably like here. This looks like some support here, kind of acted resistance here. And if we go to daily, we're looking at, okay, what is the current price? I got to see what the actual price is right now. So we're at $3.16. Switch this back. So 316. You got some support at 270s, 295. Okay, so yeah, this one looks a lot more valid because this one's supported by the daily chart. So a safe bounce attempt could be here at 260s. VWAP at $3 is a KL. KL. I don't know what KL means. A cool line? I need to cry in my soup. That's right. You'll spoil the soup. Can't have that. Yeah. Oh, key level. Gotcha. Okay. I was trying to think of what the K stood for. Just like K. I mean, three is important. It seems like this 306 really, not even 3. 306 seems like it's more important. And then if that fails, right, going to around here like 260 to 270 seems like the next area to watch. Do not spoil the soup. That's right. It's very important. Okay, so it seems like an actually pretty even split. I'm kind of surprised. So, by the way, these are both topics I'm okay with making a video about. So, yeah, I might just do both because I think both of these would be good. Good educational content, I think. Quick shout out while we're coming up on the top of the hour. If you guys are new here and you like the channel, maybe consider subscribing. I do stream every day, so you can check it out. I do try to be as transparent as I can with the results. So yeah, if you like what you see, maybe subscribe. What do you think was going to win? Oh, I mean, it's a 58 to 42%, so likely it was going to be the revenge trading, right? Like there was 19 votes. Seems like we had about a little less than 2/3 majority. So, yeah, it was probably going to be the FOMO revenge trading. But yeah, I think both are great video topics. So I'll probably do both. Since you guys seem like you want to see both, I'm okay with doing both. Considering it is the 27th, how many days we got this month? Yeah, we still got 3 days left, so I'll probably do the revenge trading video first. Just because I got 3 more days left this month anyway. And then I'll just either do the revenge or do my review video for the month. Maybe this weekend or next weekend. All right, well, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. Honestly, starting to fall asleep. We had a couple nice moves earlier, but it feels like it's really slowed down. SWVL, this one died. We had JZXN, this one basically died. I mean, even the stocks that moved up pre-market, they seem to be all kind of rolling over here. NW is kind of holding up. But yeah, nothing. We're not seeing quite as much momentum, at least from yesterday. Relative to yesterday. Oh yeah, that is very true, Jay. Yeah, with the government shutdown, we could start to see things slow down. I agree. Man, whatever. I don't know. No. I shouldn't talk about that. All right, game face is on. We're coming up on the top of the hour here. See if we get anything worth trading. That's right. We're coming up on our yearly government shutdown. Happens every year. It does feel like it happens for the stupidest reasons. See what the scanners give us. Do I use the same scanner filters as Ross? Similar. Ross's are tweaked specifically for momentum trading, and there's a lot of overlap between my scanners and Ross's, but I'm more focused on volatility and corrections. So there's more of that factor at play for me. But in terms of general scanners, Ross and I will typically find the same things. ASBP. Oof. 180 to 240, back down to 190. Files provisional patent application for industry first subliminal powder formulation of some weird chemical. Okay, I have no idea. No idea how to interpret that. Looks like this sold off quite heavily recently. It says 4 million shares. It seems suspiciously even. Looking at the level 2, it looks slightly thick. This feels heavy to me, like it's going to come down. A little bit more. I see you guys calling out Hind. I want to see how this reacts at 170s. Man, what a brutal sell-off, too. 180 to 240, back to 180 in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that big of a rotation. CYN looks like it's also breaking. I want to watch this a bit longer, though. I know Heinz moving. Okay. That might have been the buy spot. Okay. Man, what a crazy pump and dump. All right. Okay, so this is just an analyst saying that upon successful completion of phase 3 study, it would be a $1 billion valuation. But that's if they complete the study, which is, that doesn't really mean much, I feel. I mean, to be fair, if people didn't think it would be that much, then that would be bullish. But that would be something I would really need to know about the company to properly assess. Yeah, 490s looks like support on the daily, and it does match here. Good morning, just gave you a like. I appreciate it. The trading nurse, the day trading nurse. Nice name. I appreciate the like. Thank you. Yeah, it seems logical it would bounce here. At least you had support on the daily for it. I'm still a bit hesitant to trust it. Again, this catalyst isn't really something I can interpret well. ASBP is surprisingly still struggling too. Right, like this is still pushing lower. Good morning, Sergiet. What a horrible rejection. Heinz still looks more bullish. You had reduced volume on the push down relative to this volume, so you could argue that's bullish. Don't know if that's enough though. You did get the initial bounce at daily support, so maybe this reducing volume plus the daily support was reasonable for a bounce attempt, although it seems to be struggling here. CYN is also continuing down. Flip-flop is probably kicking himself if he sees CYN right now. I don't mean to tease. I'm sorry, Flip-flop. I mean, we're still seeing ascending support. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on if this is going up or down. I think there's an argument for both sides. Although this is getting a bit extended. I might even try and go long on this. Daily support. We are at 260s. I mean, there is support here. The volume is quite high, though. This could just be straight up distribution. Yeah, if the volume wasn't so high, I'd be more inclined to take this. Looks like potential backside. Yeah, so Hind is starting to break out. We're seeing volume increasing too. No, please tease. He likes to be teased. I don't feel bad because I followed my rules and CYN tricked me. Yeah, very high volume on this break. We'll see if it holds up or not. Yeah, I'm mostly just in spectator mode here for this. It's not really in a position where I want to engage with it. Looks very strong, though. ASBP made another level. Another breakdown. 8,000. For 6 cents. Added a little bit at 7. Good luck, sir. Good luck. This is the most likes we've gotten in a while. I remember the old days where we actually were getting 50 likes a stream. If you guys haven't already, maybe hit the like button, see how high we can get it. It's been a while since we've had a good like run. Just got in CYN at 269. Good luck, sir. Yeah, I was considering buying that, but to me the volume was too high, so I was worried about distribution potential. But I understand why you would want to buy there. This looks like an overreaction. It's just that the volume was high during the sell-off, so I didn't trust it. But good luck. Also, I see we got a few more likes. I do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. We've had continued high volume for all of this. This is very, very high volume. CYN making another potential leg. We're seeing volume come in too. A lot of tension at 53, 54. Again, though, just high volume on this selling pressure. I just don't know how much I trust it. Okay, finally seeing a pullback on Hind. I mean, this was like, what, 7 straight candles of green or something? 6? Nice bounce. I was debating if I should add there at the break of 6, but a little bit too little of time. Stay green, man. Protect the money. I disagree, Larry. It's not about the money. It's about the process. If I follow my rules and I take a trade and I lose and go red on the day, that's fine by me. And honestly, that's preferable. I don't want to avoid trades out of a mindset of trying to preserve win streaks. I do appreciate the thought, though. Okay, so we have some contention here around 6 now. Very big break. The break at 550 could have worked there. Well, they can hold up, but yeah, this one seems kind of suspicious to me. Yeah. More pressure, push that straight through 50. I mean, it's attempting a bounce, though, despite it pushing through 50 a second time. This is a pretty nice bounce. You got a 30-cent bounce here. Does look like potential distribution, though. The one thing I will say is that on both of these spikes down, they were low volume into a squeeze into the next flush. So, not your normal reaction. ASPT, ASPC, moving, no news. Yeah, not really wanted to trust that one. That ain't it, Chief. All right, we're seeing the next leg down, potentially. Didn't break 5. Didn't you have a good day this week, Skivan? I thought you were green. Or at least Monday, I thought you were green. Not going well, though, huh? I was looking for the break of 5 here. Didn't get it. Same thing here. Like, even when I bought here, or not bought, but when I was considering buying here, I was waiting for it to go down an extra 50 cents. And same thing here. So you ended up going, you gave it back. Okay. Because, yeah, I thought you were green whenever you left yesterday. So you ended up giving it back, huh? Tent moves with a few upticks in between. No clear continuation. Yeah. We've seen a lot of rips and then dumps. Like, it's been a hot market, certainly, but the moves are not clean, right? There's a lot of this weird straight up into straight down price action. Small scalp on the bounce. Good stuff. I was looking for it, Era. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. But I was hunting for a bounce here. Low was 507. I was about 20 cents from a fill though, so I was still a little bit away. I was looking for around 487. And I mean, this doesn't look good too, by the way. This looks like someone is hiding and distributing here. Looks like a hidden seller. For it to come down this much, and the first candle to make a new minute high did this looks like distribution to me. We'll find out in the next 1 or 2 candles if that's the case or not. I'm going to take a stab at this. We'll see if we get anything from it. My observation I've made too is that the volume on this front side was much higher than all of this volume on the back side. This could be distribution, but this volume inflow seems bullish. Okay, I'm taking half off there. Still got the other half. A lot of churn here. Okay, 20 broke. That's good. All right, I'm cutting it there. Yeah, my thesis was, even though this looked like distribution, the front side of this move was higher volume. This entire backside was reduced volume. I read that as someone was pushing this down and accumulating here. That was my read on it. Unfortunately, though, there was a lot more contention here than I would have liked, which is why I cut half the trade early. Limited my upside, but is what it is. Still a nice hit. Yeah, we're 2 for 2 today. Very nice. Let's see. So we had support. We had the volume profile in our advantage. I think that was like a B plus. B or a B plus setup. One of those two. Volatility was quite high. Maybe a 7, actually. Okay. An AMM day 2 move. Thank you, Quantix. Yeah, it looks like NAMM could be continuing here. super high volume. No news though, so I mean, okay, so it could be a continuation move, right? Because we have had this movement, right? Daily has shown movement, so this could just be a technical pattern. Yeah, this isn't a day 2 move. This is like a day 4 or a day 5 move. Yeah, Tristan's right. Spruce, you're glad you're in a paper account. Well, hey, I mean, protecting losses is great. I definitely support that. I do think that paper trading kind of stops you from feeling the emotions of the trade, which is, it's double-edged, right? You get to save yourself from capital loss, but you also don't get to experience the tension of having to manage emotions. Yeah, I don't really think I want to mess with this. All this movement on lower volume and a sudden weird spike of volume here doesn't look great. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good, Charlie. Just clarifying that it's not day 2, you know? Yeah, I can't really say I trust. And even this, like, this volume profile actually doesn't even look good, right? Look at the volume here for all of this ascending green. Very low volume. You only start to actually get the high volume right here up at the top. That's not great. I don't like that. Yeah. NIVF. Okay, we do have news for this. Hong Kong, yeah. It's a share repurchase, though. $2 million share repurchase. I mean, that should just be bullish. Through benchmark, so it's not immediate either. So yeah, the share repurchase is good. The fact they don't give a time frame of when they're going to do it, not so great. This is certainly bullish news, though. This stock has been bleeding like crazy fast. Yeah, this daily is awful. Anyone who bought here is almost entirely underwater, like instantly. Yeah. The news, the catalyst is great, but this company is really a cash burn. Seems like a very high risk setup. High risk, high return. Reverse. Oh, ooh, you're right. Not only, yeah, not only is this repurchase program, but they reverse splitted today too. Yeah, it's super, super low float. Okay, that's very significant. Yeah, this could actually move a lot because of that. In both directions. Actually, just curious. I'm going to put out an order, not to buy, just to see if I can actually put out orders, because last time we had this happen, I couldn't even put one. Okay, so I am able to buy it. So that's not an issue. 245 liquidity swipe on NIVF incoming. It's possible. It's possible. Push down to 2. Do keep in mind, too, that this stock was at $1.20 just 5 days ago. Pretty high volume here. Yeah, a lot of selling pressure. Straight to 2. Take a try at it here. Dang. Sweep down to 175. I didn't expect this much of a sweep. Could just be that it's overvalued on the daily. Still seems like it's under a lot of pressure here too. Yeah. The thing is too, is a lot of this volume is still elevated. It's not as high as here, but it's still quite elevated. Hmm. Is this really gonna break down entirely? I figured with such a low float and such high volume, combined with what seems like a decent catalyst, this would be fine, but not really looking that way, huh? Oof. Here's where it all goes down. It's all going down. Like there's some kind of wall here at 162, 162, 163. Yeah, it's trying to pressure it here, but not sure how much I trust it to actually bounce at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this volume's completely dried up too. So you really just had this huge distribution and then it stopped. Yeah, interesting that IVF went up and NIVF failed. What is this stock? I mean, this says United States. I don't know if they're related or not. Yeah, I'm still in IVF. Very painful. Hmm. Both fertility companies. Hmm. Yeah, it took some off on that spike. Yeah, I got really drug into that draw down there. Really thought it would have resolved better. Very big sad. Yeah, I can see that with IVF. That is a nice pattern. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut this. This is taking too long, and I was clearly invalidated with the trade. Yeah, not happy with how that one played out. I mean, obviously, lost a good bit on it. No, you bring up a good point. Why not cut losses quick and let it go that low? The reality is, a lot of times with these pullbacks, I need to give them more time. So that typically means letting them bleed down longer as necessary. And in this case, for example, I wasn't looking for profit, but just looking for the first bounce to try and cut loss. I was expecting a bigger bounce considering the intensity of this pullback, but I ended up cutting half here on this first bounce, and then just the second one, it didn't resolve anymore. And I'm too worried about this potentially being a top. Typically, I don't hold trades that long. It's typically only a couple minutes. So I think we're like, are we still green? Yeah, we're green like $1 on the day. Yeah. I think at one point this trade was down like 30. So I would have been potentially down 13 bucks or so, 12 bucks. I mean, I guess that's what I get too for trusting a Chinese stock. So I did identify some, yeah, and this did end up pulling back, but I did identify some red flags. Like, this is clearly a very poor company in terms of performance. I also identified that we did recover a bit already from this low. But just generally, I thought this news was very strong. I thought this pullback was quite extreme already. This was just, I mean, this could have just been variance, right? This just could have been the case where this one was going to get sold off into. I think in like B or B minus. I still liked the setup. It's just the Chinese stock plus the horribly performing company. That downward pressure was too much in this case. I'll give it B minus. I do it for a couple reasons. First of all, so I know what time I took the trade at, so I can come back and reference it at another point. Another reason, too, is I kind of have a place where I'm graphing all of my trades, so I know that during a certain time frame, this is how I perform with trades. So yeah, that's why. Those are the two reasons why I document them. Okay. Three, 70. Yeah, it looks right. Okay. But yeah, 3 trades. Looking like we're coming up on the top of the hour with me basically break even. So nothing too crazy in terms of results today, it looks like. Hey, I can buy a Snickers bar. In this economy, man, I need like $2 for that. What are you talking about? No Snickers bar for me. Maybe I'll buy a couple gumballs. The thing is, too, is like this was descending volume, and by the time we got to here, this volume was so reduced. Like, the signals were still telling me it was a hold. But if you're going into distribution where they're going to pre-plan and drag it out, I mean, there's a counter argument for it, and I respect that counter argument. The reality is, a lot of times we have to make subjective decisions when we're trading. Okay. And one more thing I do want to add to, in like kind of my defense, I guess, is that this was a very drastic sell-off, right? Looks strong. Then from 230 straight down to 150. Like, realistically, this is an insanely big sell-off, so very difficult to price that in or to anticipate that big of a rejection. Yeah, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. Like normal, I'll give it 5 minutes, see if we get anything worth watching. If I find anything, I'll stick around. Otherwise, I'm gonna head out. You're new to the stream and you liked watching me lose money. I mean, I made money today. I'm still green, but you liked watching me squirm and struggle, hit that subscribe button. And you can watch me squirm and struggle every day. No cost to you. No other job? No, I make most of my money from swing trading. I'm trying to get more on this day trading to make it a better income source. How you survive with little gains? Yeah. No, this is not my income source, or at least not my primary one. You're not green yet. I mean, you just gotta stay with it, you know? And join the Discord, of course. Always join the Discord. My Discord's basically dead, but I will keep giving a shout out to it at least once a stream if I remember. But I do have a Discord, so if you guys want, you can join that. Do you feel pressure to take trades because you are live streaming when perhaps the same trade you would avoid on your own? Absolutely. That is very accurate, Charlie. I definitely feel a little more stressed to engage in a trade when I'm streaming. No doubt. That's one of the harsh realities of streaming in general. If you stream anything, you feel more pressure to do something. It's not just trading. What do I think of order flow? I mean, I think order flow's very valuable tool. Yeah, being able to see the orders. I mean, yeah, that's just like something that's very powerful to have as an asset. It's a very powerful tool. All right, I need to find one more stock to trade, guys. Like, I'm in the green. I gotta be red. We need one more trade to lose money. I do. You just don't see it. I'm not showing it on screen. I am using it, though. What do you mean? Are you saying that I'm lying? I mean, you can say that you don't believe me, that's fine. But I'm just telling you that I use it and I don't show it. Same thing with some other things like level 2 data, with payment for order flow, with anything really, is there are a lot of guidelines you have to adhere to, and I'm trying not to get in trouble, so I'm trying to only share the stuff that I think is okay to share. You'd be profitable if you actually used order flow. But I am profitable. What do you mean? The stealthy ninja, you're not being very stealthy. $2 for $2. So sad. You okay, man? You seem a little fixated on me for some reason. Did I do something that you didn't like? Oh, you're fixated on me. Ooh, Spapple. You dashing stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, stealthy sounds questionable. I'm not sure why he's so fixated on me. Just having a bad day. I feel it, man. No, I get it. We all be there. Like, even that last trade, that wasn't the best quality trade I could have taken. 100%. Get that man some soup. Yeah. You've learned a lot from me? You're sorry? Well, dude, why? Okay, hold on, slow down. Why were you getting so defensive? If you've watched me for a while, I respect it. And by the way, thank you for watching me. I totally am thankful for you doing that. But like, why the hostility? I mean, you said it was because you had a bad day. I can respect that, but you shouldn't be taking that out on people like that. You know, that's not productive. Now I can finally make $2 myself. Oh, okay, so you're just BSing me. Got it. Got it. No, yeah. Seriously though, dude, like this is a place where we're just trying to get along, share our experiences and, you know, grow and experience this community. We're not trying to sell anything. We're not trying to distribute or promote anything. It's not the point. No, and even say, here's the thing too, and Stealthy, this is something you got to understand. Most people lose money. So the fact that I even made $1 or whatever today, that's more than most people make in the long run, right? You could have a day where you make $100, but if you take a trade risking $100 every day with no edge, you're going to lose more money than making $1 a day on average. Like statistically, you will lose money. So to say, even if I have a red day, right? If today was a red day, I lost like $20 or something. To say that, oh, you wasted 2 hours to lose $20, that's really not going into this with the right mindset. You're looking at a single data point. You're not looking at data over a period of time. You're learning a lot here. Thank you. I appreciate it, Spruce. Yeah, I mean, if you are dissatisfied, if you don't like the way I'm trading, if you don't like that I'm showing things that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show, then you can just leave. Okay? Like, it's that simple. But yeah, it's been 5 minutes. I'm probably going to wrap up here. Don't try. Yeah, I was trying to gauge if he was a troll or not. It's looking like I would give it. What do you think? What do you think the odds are that he was a troll? Probably like 80%, 85%. No soup for you. But yeah, I'm gonna probably head out here. A little over $1 in profit today. I'm just happy that I followed most of my rules. That third trade was a little dubious. I'll definitely want to focus on that during the recap. But yeah, I'm probably going to head out here. You guys have a good rest of your day. Stay safe out there.